professional race car driver. Since 1967, Bob's experience on the Grand Prix and Can-Am circuit, as well as the 24 hours of Daytona, has given him the expertise he needed to turn from professional driver to teacher. Now Bob teaches high-performance driving at his school in Sonoma, California. The basic theory taught at Bob's school? Complete car control. That's what this story is all about. Complete car control. What it is, how it works, and why it can make anyone a better driver. Bob teaches that tires are really the only thing between the driver and the road. Because tires are so important, Bob uses Bandag retreads on all his race cars, trucks, vans, and rescue vehicles. Hundreds of Bob's students ride on Bandag retreads every year. Those retreads get a beating, but they last and last. If Bandag retreads didn't last, give outstanding traction and great mileage, Bob wouldn't have put over 3 million miles on them at his school.
Good morning, I'm Bob Bondurant. I'd like to welcome you to the Bondurant School of High Performance Driving. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a lot of fun. You have a lot of fun and learn a lot, but it takes concentration to put it all together. But before I get into all of this, I'd like to find out who you people are and why you're here.
I'm Mike West, and the reason I came to your school is I'd like to improve on some of my street driving and get more confidence driving a car.
I'm Kim Shepard, and my brother owns a garage, and we both like racing, so he said that if I go through this course, he'll split the cost of a race car with me, and then maybe we can enter some races.
I think what I need to do is to get a better handle on just basic good driving techniques. Complete car control, I guess.
What we teach at the course is complete car control no matter what you're driving, whether it's a sports car or a sedan, pickup truck, van, no matter what it is. You read the car through the contact patches or the tire patches. There's 4 tire patches, of course. That's all you have between you and the highway. So you want to read what that is, what that's telling you. It goes from the tire patch to the suspension, up to the chassis, from all 4 wheels, up to the seat, and then the steering wheel, and then, of course, down below here are the pedals. And you want to be able to feel exactly what the car is doing. So if you turn the car, say, to the right, the weight transfers over to the outside, the left front tire picks up the major tire patch and gives you major adhesion. But you want to learn to read this and feel what the car is doing.
The students spend 20% of their school day in the classroom learning the concept of complete car control. The rest of the time is on the track.
Okay, after we recognize some of the things the tire patches are telling us, how do we learn to respond to some of the signals when we corner, accelerate, or skid?
The best way is to get in the car and practice what we're talking about.
He was right. Hands at 9 and 3 on the wheel do give you a lot better control than the 10 and 2 position they teach in driver's ed.
Strapping yourself in tight makes you a lot more alert to what's going on with the suspension.
The oval teaches students how to corner, a critical maneuver in high-performance driving. In cornering, the student must learn to control the momentum of the car as it rides over the 4 tire patches or footprints, and to exert a down force onto the front tires by trailing brake. That means a slight braking action is continually applied during the first third of the turn. This keeps a down force on the front wheels, thereby enlarging the tire contact area for better steering control. The better the tread grips the road, the better those front tire patches work for the driver. Bob uses Bandag retreads at the school, not only because they've got great traction for maximum control, but also because they wear longer than new tires. Bob also teaches the technique of heel and toe downshifting. This requires the driver to use all 3 pedals at the same time and opens the way for a smooth shift into the next gear. Smoothness, consistency, and concentration are the ingredients of complete car control. And at the accident simulator, Bob talks about how to prepare for a driving emergency.
Our accident simulator is designed to create an emergency situation that you might encounter on the highway, such as a crate falling off a truck or a car stopping in front of you suddenly. And this is where the 4 tire patches come into play that we talked about this morning. As you approach the simulator, I'm going to change the lights. React immediately to the green light. Get into that green lane as quickly as you can, no brakes, throttle only. Here you'll head for the left lane. Here you'll head for the center. Here the right.
Bob, you won't do anything sneaky on us, will you? Like make them all red?
I sure will. It's always better to maneuver out of an accident. But there are going to be times that the only escape will be a panic stop.
So how do we do a panic stop?
Well, what you don't want to do is stab the brakes and lock them up, because if you do, you'll lose control of the car.
To maintain complete control of the car, touch the brakes lightly, then squeeze hard on them, easing off at the bottom of the brake stroke. This prevents the brakes from locking.
Criminy, you have to make up your mind and make your move in just a few feet. At 45 miles an hour, that's a split second.
At the end of the accident simulator sessions, the students understand how to control the 4 tire patches through smooth, even braking and steering. Jabbing the brakes can cause the wheels to lock and result in a serious skid. Learning how to handle this kind of skid is the student's next lesson. The skid pad simulates rain or ice-slick pavement. But the things to be learned from it, understeering and oversteering, can happen on any kind of pavement, in any kind of weather. Using the school van, Bob illustrates that what the students will learn behind the wheel of a passenger car applies to vans and pickups too. Understeering, a front wheel skid, can be caused by hitting the brakes too hard or cornering too fast in a front wheel drive car. Hitting the accelerator too hard can also make the wheels spin. Oversteering is when the rear wheels lock up. To correct this type of skid, turn the steering wheel in the direction of the skid. The students are now experienced in trail braking, heel and toe downshifting, and skid control techniques. Next, Bob explains his technique of late apex as the fastest and most stable way of cornering.
The reason it's the quickest is because as the car arrives at the apex, the front tires are right at the inside edge of the road. The apex of a turn is the area where your car comes closest to the inside of the track. And as the car arrives there, it's in the most stable condition. Therefore, you can be almost full throttle as you go into the corner and exit. If you apex too soon, the tires are just going to scrub your speed off. The drivers who start their turns too early or reach the apex too soon end up doing more correcting and taking longer time than the drivers who start their turn later and use a late apex approach.
The pylons indicate where the apex of the corner is, and Bob shows each student how close they are to the apex.
I made a lot of goose today. One time I was going for third and got into first gear by mistake, Bob.
I don't know about anyone else, but I really feel like I learned a lot today. I can't wait to call my brother.
Double clutching, heel and toe downshifting, apex, trail braking. I wonder if I'll ever get it all together.
There's only one way to find out, and that's on the road course. We'll do that tomorrow. I'm going to have you follow me around for a couple laps, and then I'm going to pull off and watch you. Most people really don't know how to drive a car very well. And through my racing, I've learned complete car control and how to teach it, but it's not just a matter of plucking your fanny in the seat and driving around the track. To really make it work, you've got to learn to feel what the car is doing and sense what it's doing, and always looking well ahead of where you're driving and looking to where you're going to go.
Well, that was really a great course, Bob. Sorry to see it come to an end, but now I'm going to get that sports car.
Good luck, and let me know about your first race.
Yeah, it was great. You know, even out there on the track, I found I was learning things that I know are going to come in handy on the freeway. All the things you taught us, you know, like steering, sitting erect, feeling and reading the signals the tires are sending us.
Yeah, you mentioned tires a lot.
Well, that's because they're so important for complete car control. I've used Van Dyke retreads in my school for the last 5 years, and the reason is they outlast new tires 3 to 4 times. A lot of people don't know it, but retreading technology has come an awful long way in the last few years. You can tell that by the way these Bandag retreads perform. Their retreads work better than any new tires I've ever used. I wouldn't think of using anything else.
Well, I hope we meet again.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Be sure and come back and see us.
I really look forward to it.
Same here.
So that's the story of complete car control as taught by Bob Bondurant. And what's the final driving tip Bob leaves with his students?
If there's one thing I want my students to remember when they leave my school, it's the importance of tires in complete car control.